It is time for an American Family News Update. I'm Bronson Woodruff. An Israeli airstrike hit a school sheltering Palestinians in Gaza, and dozens of people are believed to have been killed. Greg Palcott reports from London that investigators are looking into the damage after an Israeli hit in Gaza on Thursday. Up to 30 Hamas and other fighters were believed to be inside, and Hamas says that 40 people were killed, including women and children. Meanwhile, the Pentagon says that floating pier off of Gaza, damaged in bad weather, is now back in place, and they say it will soon be facilitating the transfer of aid to residents. And on that note, the Israel-Hamas war appears to have become much less deadly for Palestinian women and children, according to an AP analysis of Gaza Health Ministry data. Women and children made up fewer than 40% of those killed in the Gaza Strip during April, down from more than 60% in October. The decline both coincides with Israel's changing battlefield tactics and contradicts the ministry's own public statements. After the Hamas October 7th attack, Israel launched an intense aerial bombardment on densely populated Gaza. It then invaded with thousands of ground troops backed up by tanks and artillery. By the end of October, women and people 17 years old and younger accounted for 64% of the 6,745 killed who were fully identified by the health ministry. After saying it had achieved many key objectives, the Israeli army began to withdraw ground troops earlier this year. It's focused lately on drone strikes and limited ground operations. Will a U.S. appeals court stop federal agents from removing razor wire barriers built by Texas along the Rio Grande River? Eben Brown reports.
A federal district court already ruled that U.S. Border Patrol and other federal agencies were free to cut down razor wire barriers installed by Texas law enforcement near the Rio Grande in an effort to curb illegal border crossings from Mexico. The state began the practice, claiming the Biden administration is failing to prevent the crossings and leaving Texas towns to care for thousands of migrants. But now a panel of the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals is being asked to rule the other way. One of the panel's judges openly opined that while federal agents can't be sued for doing their jobs, they remove the fence to allow uncontrolled migration, not prevent it. A ruling has not yet been made. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to address a joint meeting of Congress on July 24th. This will set the stage for what is expected to be an important speech at a time when the Biden administration's support for a Jewish state is falling away. Congressional leaders confirmed the date of the address late Thursday, after they formally invited Netanyahu to come speak before lawmakers last week. It's the most recent show of wartime support for the longtime ally, particularly among Democrats. Democrat Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called Netanyahu before an obstacle for peace. Other Democrats, including the so-called Squad members, have also condemned Israel's response to October 7th's massacre. Donald Trump returned to the campaign trail Thursday with a trip to Arizona, his first appearance in a battleground state since he was convicted in the so-called hush money trial. He shared his thoughts on the case against him, saying that it was politically motivated, and he called for his conviction to be overturned on appeal. The Justice Department indicts a Texas doctor who accused a hospital of secretly conducting transgender surgeries and treatments on minors despite a state ban. Jeff Manasso reports.
The Department of Justice indicting Dr. Ethan Haim on 4 felony counts after Haim last year anonymously leaked evidence of child sex change procedures to a journalist, revealing that Texas Children's Hospital in Houston continued running its child transgender program, despite announcing that the program had been discontinued per a state ban on what Governor Greg Abbott called child abuse. The hospital was ultimately forced to stop child sex change procedures. The DOJ accusing the doctor of sharing medical records of minor patients with the public, though we're told the documents were not patient charts and were redacted to protect patients in compliance with HIPAA laws. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
That's a wrap for this American Family News Update. You can find much more news on our website, afn.net. Have a great weekend. I'm Bronson Woodruff.